It's hot. It is. There's a train on the tracks. Well, guess what, guys? We are going on a tour. And I'm hoping that the camera mounts will work well. I don't even know if you guys can see me or not. But you guys can see everyone else in here, I think. That's my plan. The air feels like it's not working. So we're gonna drive really fast so it'll stay nice and cold in the van. Those kids have a pool. Must be nice. Wish I had a pool. Do you guys have, oh, mother of God. Do you guys have a pool? Leave comments downstairs. Gotta wait on this train. No way around it. Well, let's try to go this way. Choo-choo train's on the thing.
Doctor's office. They're Adam's lifespans. They saw him on YouTube. We've been trying to talk about this building for years. Adam's got some stories. I'll let him tell them because he's the one that came up with it. So
by now you guys want to know if I talk. Right? I do talk. The Yonker house. How many people are from Decatur? Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you some information.
Nobody.
About Decatur. The Yonker house right here, built in 1851 or 1891, sorry, by Louis Kasner for $20,000. He was a president of the bank. $20,000, 1891, a lot of money back then. Well, he fell kind of head over ends at the bank, lost his job, had to sell the home in 1897. For $10,000 he sold the home. He sold it to a doctor by the name of Dr. William Barnes, which actually played a huge role in Decatur's history in the later years, early 1900s actually. He built DMH Hospital, Decatur Memorial Hospital. Well, during the time that he was a surgeon and getting this hospital going, he had a collection that he collected for years. Spent millions of dollars on this collection, actually. And he wanted to sell it at one point to raise money for the hospital. He offered to sell the collection in St. Louis to a museum for $300,000. They said, we don't want it. So he kept the collection and just kept adding to it. Up until his death, he spent even more money on this collection. It was finally sold. His kids sold it for $50,000, a huge loss for his collection. They actually sold it to the Smithsonian Museum in Washington. By now, you guys want to know what the collection is. In 1945, National Geographic ran their magazine, and in that magazine was the article of Dr. William Barnes' collection. They called it the world's most complete butterfly collection ever. He holds the record for having the most butterflies ever kept, and they were kept here at this house. And when we go up to the end, you'll see a building in the back that actually was connected to the house, and the butterflies were housed inside there. I've been in here several times to work on insurance stuff. They actually have plaques up there still of some of the butterflies that were in the home, and they're amazing what they look like, just the few that he has. Ghost stories, though. This house is actually is a bed and breakfast / insurance agency. It's split down the middle, basically. It's ran by two brothers, the Yonker brothers, actually, Mark and Rick. Mark is the insurance, Rick is the bed and breakfast, and I asked both of them, I was like, what's the stories? Now, this is a fairly new location for us. This is basically the second year that we've had this on the tour, so we're still digging up information. But one of the stories that I find interesting that I was told about was from Rick on the bed and breakfast side. He said one night, there's only 4 rooms up there to rent, really small. But one night, a couple comes running down from the upstairs, and they throw a key on the table, and they say they want to leave. Rick said, why? And they said the water keeps turning on, and then they just left. Well, I actually had the opportunity to talk to the people that it actually happened to. Rick didn't know this, and they didn't know that we were adding this to the tour. And they told me what exactly happened. They were spending the night here, just a little getaway in Decatur. They get their room, they're going to bed, it's about 10 o'clock at night. The wife is already in bed, husband gets ready to get back into bed from going to the bathroom. All of a sudden the water turns on. Well, she thinks that maybe the faucet's bad, it just turned on because he was just in there. So he went back in, turned it off, got into bed. They're getting ready to turn off the lights, and all of a sudden they watch a man walk through the door into the bathroom, turn on the water, and then disappear. That's when they left, ran down the steps. I talked to them and then talked to Rick. So it's the same story basically. It's two different people that it happened to. Lots of things happen on both sides, from your average hauntings that you guys would think about, like hearing footsteps, doors shutting, smells, sounds. It happens here. John mentioned that I do a lot of things. I run a ghost hunting group here in town, and this is on our list to investigate really soon. We're working on it basically. And so if you guys come back, hopefully next year to do the tour, maybe we'll have more information on this. This is, again, fairly new. A lot of these locations we'll talk about tonight, and ones that we've already talked about, we're still getting information. We're still being told stories. So it's almost a never-ending thing that, history-wise, ghost-wise, a lot of stuff keeps coming up. So hopefully here in the near future, we'll find out something. And if you guys don't come back, you guys can watch it on Adam's Life. I'm just going to plug the show the whole night.
Yeah. This is Hieronymus. Turn the light on there. Adam will show you. This is Hieronymus Mueller. Hieronymus Mueller was a tinkerer. He was an inventor. And he invented a shut-off valve that you could plumb into pipes and shut the water flow off so plumbers could work on it without getting drenched. With that invention, he formed the Mueller Company. Hieronymus was also a pioneer of the automobile. He was the first man in Decatur to have a car. In fact, he built a car, and this is not a good picture, but he built a car called the Mueller Benz. And the difference between his car and other cars was he had a radiator in it. So he took this car on road races, and he came in first and second place in every race he was ever in because his car wouldn't overheat. And when I tell you, road race, they were going like 15 miles an hour. But his car wouldn't overheat. And he'd drive around town, he'd drive through the sidewalks, he'd scare horses and people on the street. And there's all these stories about him just chugging down the road, scaring people. He was going to bring an automotive plant to Decatur. He was going to build the Mueller-Benz cars here in Decatur. And had he been able to do that, it would have been a whole different town. But the problem with this plan of his was, and Hieronymus' fascination with cars, for all his brains, he hadn't figured out the idea of flames and gasoline, apparently. Because one afternoon, he's working on his car in his garage with a lit cigar, and he blows himself up. Hieronymus Mueller is the very first, the world's first automobile fatality.
Hey guys, I just got home from the tour. Ati and Danielle and Chloe are not home. They were at a party, swimming all night, enjoying the nice, cool pool, while Adam was sweating. But guess what? They're coming home right now. Tiny's just calmly waiting. Do you want to see him? Huh? Do you want to see him? Okay, where are they, guys? Where are they? Ah! 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 I should mention right now it is 12 o'clock at night. And what time did Ati just get done swimming?
Like 30 minutes ago.
30 minutes ago. Hi. See, she does cry. She's extremely tired right now. And then Danielle just leaves. What's wrong, Chloe? Hey, Chloe. Chloe. Oh, you can't. You happy?